How we doing, everybody? This is Wilhelm Duke, your Swedish-American rapper. Shout out all my Dukes and Duchesses. You are watching Dukes and Duchesses, the podcast. We are here with the First Lady of the House of Duke, Candace Elise.
How we doing, y'all?
And my levels are a bit hot, so I'm going to turn me down just a tad. Candace is doing good. All right. So, the first topic that we have for today, we have fun topics for today. It's going to be fun. The industry is burning. Diddy being raided at his house. Seems like the industry is falling apart. You know, you have the Quiet on Set documentary, which we talked about last episode.
It's over the years. I just see that the facade of the industry is starting to crumble. You know what I mean? And what we think, what is being a celebrity like, you know, with the Megan Thee Stallions having, you know, contract agreement issues. It's just like the list goes on what it is. It's just the industry is burning, guys, and I'm here to watch.
It seems like being a celebrity of certain status and in some of these echelons is actually just people having a bad time.
Yeah. Well, it's people having it's not as free as you think it is. There's not a lot of freedom as I think. There's just not a lot of freedom when it comes to professional, what you want with your career, how you're looking, where you want it to go. I think your hands are tied when it comes to who wants you to be what they want you to be.
Yeah, if you're signed to a record label and a contract, yeah, you probably have all sorts of, handlers and people tied into what you're doing, and you probably don't have a lot of freedom and personal choice or decision, artistic or creative freedom for sure.
Yeah, and plus I think the industry, it's run by a lot of not so good people, and I just think they just keep the continuum going.
For sure. All right. So J.Cole, Kendrick, Drake beef. Kendrick took shots at both J.Cole and Drake on the song Like That, which is by Metro Boomin, featuring Future and Kendrick Lamar. And I guess reigniting the grand old stage of hip-hop battles and hip-hop beefs.
So I
Candace,
guess like who won this one,
well,
or how did
the battle has just begun, so no one has won.
Okay,
yet.
well, yeah, I guess it's begun, but I heard that Drake responded. Didn't he respond? Or
No, Drake has not responded yet.
Nobody's responded.
At least I don't think, not to my knowledge.
Oh wow! Well, I need to look that up because I swear Drake at least responded. I thought I saw that today. So okay.
No response from but I am remixing that track, that track, and I will be calling out the big three and the big four, having some fun with it.
Love your remixes, by the way. Go check them out. Go check them out.
That. But yeah, no, Kendrick just randomly, he's been a little quiet these last few years, randomly takes shots at J.Cole and Drake on this Like That record by Metro Boomin featuring Future and Kendrick Lamar.
Well, out of all the art, okay, this is what I would love. Hold on. Okay, out of J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake, who's your fave? Like out of those three, like who do you respect lyrically?
I guess my personal favorite would have to be Kendrick Lamar, and then J. Cole close second, with Drake in third place. But that's just coming from like a lyrical storytelling perspective. All three are great in their own right. A lot of people have negativity for all three, I'm sure. But
it's like, why do we have to choose?
It's a great question.
I get it.
It all helps sell records.
It's a part of the marketing. Let's be real. Disses have, sold a lot of records for decades.
Yeah,
so
if you go back and look at Nas's Ether. But I will say that if you go back and listen to the Black Friday songs by both Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole when they rapped over each other's instrumentals, that was like 9 years ago. That was a very interesting, pivotal point and part of hip-hop. So if this beef is intriguing you, I would say go back and listen to Black Friday, which there's two records. There's the Kendrick Lamar rapping over the J. Cole song, and then there's the J. Cole rapping over the Kendrick Lamar song. But just look up Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole Black Friday. It was released on Black Friday or that weekend of Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. But yeah, very interesting stuff. But all right, next, Walmart. Yeah, so
Well, one thing about Walmart, it's like, where are they? Well, we do know that Walmart moved out of the city, so we do know that much, out of Chicago, because of thefts and all types of things. So it's like I've already never gone really to Walmart because there's not really any in the city in Chicago because they all moved.
Well, right,
closed down.
So yeah, there's not really accessible Walmarts anyways in the city of Chicago, but basically in all of this late stage capitalism, you know, having to pay inflated prices for everything, there's got to be a subscription for everything, you know, everyone's trying to make a dollar, squeeze a dollar out of everything. That I don't know if a few weeks ago you guys heard that Wendy's was going to start trying the surge pricing, where the prices of their menu would fluctuate based on the time of the day. Similar to Uber, but
Crazy.
The latest thing that Walmart is going to experiment with, I guess, is when they're understaffed, low-staffed, or during odd hours after midnight, let's say midnight to 6 a.m., there's going to be something where you can't use the self-checkout registers unless you are part of their Walmart Plus subscription program. So it's like you'll have to pay a monthly fee to use Walmart checkouts during specific times, let's say after midnight, I would be assuming, because that would be
nobody has time for this.
That just sounds ridiculous.
Not for me. If we're gonna keep getting, you know, more ridiculous like this, you can count me out.
Yeah, it's just giving greed.
It is giving greed.
Because instead of hiring people to staff, instead of hiring people to staff,
right,
they would rather charge the customer. Right. Instead of hiring people to staff, though, they would rather charge the customer.
Instead of,
Which is, it's.
And we see that all around. We see that all around the table. We see that now with delivery, how the delivery prices have gone up because they want to kind of put it on the consumer. We were at DSW and we got some shoes and we went to the cashier and it said, did we want to leave a tip? And I'm like, do we want to leave a tip? We got our own shoes.
So wait, hold on. This is actually a really crazy story. Wait, Candace, break this down again for our audience, Dukes and Duchesses.
Right. Let me break this down.
So hold on. Let's repeat this.
So I'm going to start over.
This is in relation. This story, by the way, is in relation to Walmart charging a subscription fee, by the way, to use their self-checkout. Candace, and I wasn't there because I was on an acting gig, but you were with your family at DSW.
Yes,
what happened?
I was at a shoe store. I'm not even going to say the name because I don't want nobody coming after me. No, we're not saying the name. We're not saying the name. I was at a shoe store, and towards the end, like, we walked around, got our own shoes. Nobody helped us. But by the end of it, we went to the cashier and, you know, we paid, but it said we paid, but it said towards the end, it said, do we want to leave a tip? And I'm like, a tip for getting our own stuff. So the greed is getting out of control. So even when we go to get coffee and we're doing our own thing, it's like, hey, do you want to leave a tip? A tip for what? Doing your job.
Well, right, but you can understand the difference between tipping a barista who made your coffee versus you just selected your own shoes and brought them up.
You're pushing it.
Well, no,
even that, I respect baristas. Don't you get me wrong here. I respect baristas, but I'm just, I think also they're getting paid for that. So if you're a barista and you're getting paid for your job, unless you make my coffee like out of this world, I don't understand why the fuck I would tip you.
No, but the reality is that just like servers, their wages are not being.
Well, then you know what? Then guess what we need to do. Stop working those fucking jobs. Make them figure out how to get a robot in there.
But let's be real. There is a huge difference between making someone's coffee and you just stood and waited for someone to select their own shoes. So
that, or you just wrung me out.
To me,
with your cashier, that's your job.
Well, to me, asking for a tip at a shoe store is heinous. Food and service industry is a little different.
I get that.
But
I get that because I was in the food and service industry for a long time.
If I was downtown and I was selecting a piece of clothing from a feminine store, and no woman helped me to select, or nobody helped me, right? And I'm buying something for you. I would be upset if I saw the iPad and it was like,
You want to leave a tip.
asking me to tip. Yeah. So
yeah. So the tipping culture, I think the tipping culture in general, this whole new subscription thing is going to get out of control. Eric actually.
Sorry, our cat literally just wants to make noise for it. Wants to make noise for it.
Eric posted the other day. No, yesterday. Eric posted yesterday about an artist, James Blake. Am I correct?
Oh yeah.
James Blake is now going to be doing a subscription service for his music.
He's trying to figure out a new way to. Speaking of subscription services, this is a benevolent subscription service because it would benefit recording artists, so I would be down for it. But yeah, he's trying to figure out another way to cut out middlemen, distributors, and how can artists monetize directly.
Showing y'all how to do it.
You know, from artist to fan to artist, how to make money off of his, fan base right away, as opposed to having to cut anybody in,
Which is what you want. Which is what, because the greed is getting out of control, and don't you want it to where it's just going to, like straight to consumer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Straight to your consumer.
Why does anybody have to
just hand them out?
If I made the music, why does anybody else have to be? Why does anybody else have to get a cut of the music that I made? If
I call it pimping. That's just another way to pimp.
There should be open channels though for us to deliver people music without us having to pay exorbitant commissions to the people that structure and run the industry, right? So that doesn't really make much sense.
So I think for the future, we're definitely going to probably see more of these people doing more subscriptions, just anywhere, all across the scale where it comes to more music. It's just more gatekeepy stuff, just more harder ways to stream, because nowadays you see it now. It's like we're subscribing to 5 different streaming services instead of just watching TV. You remember, but before we just paid one thing and we got all the channels. Now it's like every channel now, Disney, Max, IMAX, or whatever it's called. All these certain channels have their own certain streaming.
Max.
HBO Max, they have their own streaming service. So
Right. But yes, absolutely. But support James Blake's streaming service.
Absolutely. That's how you guys are going to make it.
We're trying to support recording
He's showing
artists.
you guys how to do it.
But with everything else, I would caution to ever walk into a Walmart and pay a subscription service to use their self-checkout. That sounds absolutely horrible. Don't ever do that.
Don't do that. Like
also, check out things like Even, directly way to support recording artists, and Bandcamp.
Oh, Bandcamp is so great. You use Bandcamp a lot.
Gotta start remembering Bandcamp.
Bandcamp is extremely great for artists, because that's directly to your consumer to artists.
So the worst top five. So Candace, this is really funny. Earlier, Candace showed me this video by a YouTuber named Dupli or Dupli. It's DUPLEE.
He's so great.
Hilarious YouTuber,
Great,
hilarious
funny.
reactor, very funny personality. But he was reacting to what he listed,
and he was on the money with this.
He was pretty on point.
I think the worst. I think it was on the money with it. So the worst top 5 freestylers.
Right, or I guess the top 5 worst freestyles.
There we go.
And then he picked 5 different recording artists that. So now one of them was Iggy Azalea, which is
funny. So we're obviously gonna play a clip of her doing her part on Shay in the Morning, right? Sway.
She was on, not
Sway in the Morning.
Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp.
Sorry,
but no,
I
she
love
was on,
me some Club Shay Shay.
She was on Sway in the Morning years ago, but she said I'll rap something a cappella, and I like Iggy Azalea,
I do too.
But it's funny because her talking voice is something like
completely different
how we're talking, but then. If I could try to get my best Iggy Azalea impersonation, he had a house on the hill, sits in the valley. Like she puts
she does
so
have
much
a lot of
Houston,
twang,
Texas emphasis.
Some twang there. There's some
lots
twang
of
there.
twang, lots of overemphasized.
But then when
twang.
she's talking normally, it doesn't add up. So it's just like,
Right.
yeah, it's just interesting. Plus, it's like Iggy is definitely not where she could be.
Right. Maybe
I don't think a lot of people really fuck with.
Perhaps your
Iggy.
career could be.
I think it could
larger
be bigger.
if maybe you got rid of the black scent to a degree, and I don't know. I mean, it's just like, and that's very subjective. You know, like you could argue all sorts.
I still
of
love
white,
her though.
Yeah, well,
she's great. She's got some songs,
and you could argue all sorts of white artists have like a black scent to a degree. And I'm not saying like Iggy Azalea, you have to sound like Tom McDonald.
That's another episode because I've gotten on
Eric.
Right,
that's a whole
not
other
with
episode.
Eric himself, but I've talked to Eric about how I cannot stand white rappers that mimic, and I think it's like there's like a mimicking going on, and it just turns me on. So it's like if I probably don't follow you, it's because you're probably mimicking or you just sound like trash.
White rappers don't be mimicking. She hates that.
I fucking hate that shit,
mimicking.
and I know who you are, and you know who you are because you don't sound like that.
Don't be mimicking. Try to sound
you
like
don't
yourself.
Fucking sound like
even
that.
If you don't think it sounds very good or is authentic, if it as long as you're not mimicking, it'll actually sound better than you think. And that's the whole thing about being yourself. Right?
Be yourself. How about that? Be yourself. But it's like you know who you are. Like you sound like trash. You're not good, and just stop. You might as well do some poetry type of shit.
Sure, but back to the 5 worst freestyles. So it was Iggy Azalea, and then there's this other artist named Haiti Baby, which I highly recommend looking up that freestyle because that's one where he just goes
it was really
completely
bad.
Insane, but it's really funny. Look up Haiti Baby. It's bad, but it's like funny bad.
But it's also like good. It's like so. It's
so bad. It's good.
There. It's like
you know. He's definitely channel. No, that's O'Malley. You're thinking of.
Oh damn.
So there's So check out Haiti Baby, but also go check out O'Malley or O'Malley, which is one of Meek Mill's artists, or just type. It's one of Meek Mill's artists that was on Sway in the Morning, and then it was Tyler the Creator on Funk Flex because it was really homoerotic,
you know
trying to make him feel uncomfortable. Right, he was trying to make Funk Flex feel uncomfortable with all the gay stuff. It was very funny. It was very funny.
So I don't even put Tyler. I don't even put Tyler on that.
No, but that's who Dupley put.
They even put Kanye, but they gave him a crappy beat.
Oh right, so that
they
was
gave
the 5.
him a shitty beat.
So here was
and then there's Lil Perp.
What's
his name? Smoke Perp.
Here is the 5, right? So yeah, it was Iggy Azalea, Haiti Baby, Tyler the Creator, Kanye West, and Smoke Perp. Smoke Perp was actually probably the worst at the beginning.
Yeah, that is like boo. Like I didn't even know who that was, and like trash. Like if you listen to that, you need to like rethink your life. If that's the type of hip hop, rap, whatever the fuck you listening to, that's not it.
I mean, there's entertainment and artistic value.
If that's entertainment for you,
like real hip hop and MC
garbage.
Shit,
your brain must be mush.
When we're talking about the worst top 5 freestylers, that definitely takes the cake for one of them.
Right.
Kanye West, he was just upset because they gave him a Euro dance.
And I love Kanye. Kanye, I know is like for me, he's a genius when it comes to hip hop and music and producing and just everything. He's really up there. He's number 1 for me.
But they zoom in on his face on that Sway in the Morning when he's like upset that they picked like literally the wackest Euro techno beat. Like literally it sounds like a techno beat. And he's like, you guys picked a Euro beat? And he like looks all perplexed and confused. And then that's when he delivers like less than an 8-bar freestyle where he's like, no, I can't. No, I ain't. Something, you know, I can't, you know, or something like that. But
oh man.
All right, just to recap. So the industry is burning, falling apart, which makes room for independent recording creatives, entrepreneurs, really does.
And just
artists.
Look around, you guys. Like when you see, also, it's like when you see these bigger artists, these mainstream artists, when they have to like have 5 of these fools on one bill. Like, just start seeing that pattern. Like, even when I was looking for concert tickets for us, I just noticed a lot of these group concerts now.
Right, it's like everybody has to do group concerts because no single one artist
nobody's
actually
coming
has
to see one person
a big
like
fan
that.
Base
yeah,
because the music isn't as good anymore.
That too.
The music just like nobody's making the type of music that that warrants 500 packed people for one. I mean, there are some. I'm not saying it doesn't exist.
Yeah, if you're an annoying Taylor Swift, and that's another thing. I don't understand that. I'm not a Swiftie.
Well, we can save Taylor Swift.
I'm going to save that for another time. But yeah, I don't fucking get it.
But to continue on the recap, Yeah, J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake beef. It's just spicing up, heating up. So we'll see what happens. Chicago rappers to look out for. Never mind, we're gonna cut that.
Right.
Walmart,
We'll do that next time.
Walmart, the world in flames. Yeah, because everyone wants to charge and make a bunch of money, and clearly, you know.
Well, it's in flames because everything around us, like between climate change, inflation, higher prices in housing, it being harder to get health care for some people. Like, it's around the board. The world is in flames. And that's just, you know, it just is. But it also is it's giving room for light, if that makes sense. Like, while everybody is, you know, in the industry, all these like multi-billionaire, millionaires, people in power are literally falling at the seams. I think it just leaves room for more light and better ways for us to literally entertain, but get what's deserved from the entertainment. You know what I mean? No more I only made $50,000 off a $1 billion movie. Why? How? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I think actors need to be paid. I think people need to be just stop the corruption. Just pay people what's due. And